Hey everybody, it's Harlan. This one's been a while coming, but it's going to be worth it. I've spent a lot of time preparing this, going through, spending a heck of a lot of money to make this really click for you. We're calling this the business of bots. If you've been in the business of sneakers for a little bit, you see that stuff goes clearly. Now, the sneakers app, you have a pretty good chance of getting sneakers. I would say I do better than 60% or so, maybe even higher, straight from Nike. Nobody else, whatever. But there are times that I get sold out. And the reason that we get sold out is because the bots are already there. Now, it is very, very difficult for bots to get into the sneakers apps, the sneaker app themselves, or the Nike site. It is rumored, whatever, but most people are buying on the app. Nike forces you to the app wherever possible. So we would recommend that if you are serious about bots, if you are serious about this business, that you pay attention to what you're going to learn here, and you know this is going to be worth it and get you a heck of a lot of results than you ever thought possible. So here we go. We're going to go from left to right, from easiest to the most difficult. We're going to start with slots. Some of you have already discovered slots. The three biggest slot companies are RSVP Kings, Sold to Cart, and Yeezy Mafia. Yeezy Mafia specializes only in Yeezy. RSVP Kings does the most popular sneakers and Supreme. The way all of these slot companies work is that they put a charge on your card. Sometimes it's just an authorization, other times it's an actual charge. They track if your order went through. If your order went through, you pay their fee. If your order didn't go through, then you either get refunded or your card never gets charged. Now, these companies run their own bot service. They have somebody running the bots for them if they don't do it themselves. I'm pretty convinced RSVP Kings is like a one-person company, and he does everything, knows how to run the bots. He's been doing this since he was in middle school. He makes 7 figures a year charging for slots. On a normal product, his fees are pretty reasonable. For Supreme products, inexpensive ones, it's like $30, $40. For sneakers, it could be anywhere from $50 to $70. But if it's a really hot product, unfortunately, greed takes over. So when it was time for the Supreme COVID-19 shirts, he wanted to charge, I think it was $300 a slot. So remember, you pay for the slot and you pay for the product. If you choose to buy slots, you can pay for the slot itself with a debit card. But I advise that you use credit cards to pay for the actual sneakers. I do not think that these companies, the debit card companies, like the speed at which these are entered and coming from different IP addresses. The security on debit cards is pretty intense, and therefore I recommend that you use credit cards to actually pay for the shoes. I can tell you that every time I think I've used a debit card, I have not gotten the purchase. So learn from my mistakes. RSVP Kings, I have had some success, and sometimes they go empty. All of these companies need to make sure that their bots are up to date. RSVP Kings had a week where they missed just about everything on Supreme, and then they've had a couple of weeks where they were hitting everything, and the only people who didn't get it were the ones where the bank cards got declined. RSVP Kings, nobody really there to talk to. If you follow him on Twitter, he doesn't really respond, etc. Okay, the one that I like the best is now I'm not saying that I wouldn't use RSVP Kings again. Sold to Cart is a little bit cheaper, and they've gotten pretty good results for me. Yeezy Mafia, Yeezy Specialist, they haven't worked for me yet, but a lot of people swear by them. So these are the three companies for slots. Now let's ease your way into bots. There is a Supreme bot that, please excuse my dogs in the background. Supreme bot is called Force Cop. It is relatively inexpensive, and it sits in Chrome. They teach you how to use it in videos. It's relatively simple. It automatically goes in, counts down to the time of the Supreme bot, goes in there, swoops in, grabs what you want. Okay, this is this is Force Cop. So you select your size, you select the shoe size, hat size, jackets, you type in the keyword that you want, and there's a timer for how long you want it to delay the checkout so it doesn't look like a bot. Okay. There's also the option for any size, and then there's an add to cart and checkout where you put in all of your information. Okay, so here is where you do you add the item name and color. Okay, one of the nice things about Force Cop is that every week they send you an email and they show you they send you a setup guide and the keywords and tips for the particular week. This is pretty outstanding. I'm a big fan of Force Cop. It works really well. And it has a very, very good reputation in the industry. So I strongly recommend Force Cop for Supreme. Watch this whole video before grabbing Force Cop. Okay, the next step up is to use what's called Discord. Discord is like a more challenging Facebook. Not always logical. There are categories here that are updated. So here I'm looking at Boom in Supply, which is one of those. And here they're talking about things. Here's an hour reminder for potential Supreme Air Force One. So this is, they let people know what's coming, prices in advance. Here, Travis Scott, the release coming. They keep you up to date. Here's this. They tell you what the retail is. They tell you what the potential that you're going to make on them. I don't see much here about Yeezys. Again, there are a lot of beginners in this about bots that you can buy, which ones, but they don't tell you the best. They don't evaluate the bots. They just sell, and they're obviously there to make money on the resale. Here are steal announcements, where steals are when things are cheaper than retail. Ben is Ben Kicks, and again, this is for a this is for people who are more advanced, but I think they get a lot of people in here who are inexperienced, and they're trying to keep them in and paying. I am under impressed with this group. You'll see I don't, but this is what a Discord group looks like. Here's reaction rolls. Okay, you got a rental roll. Okay. So that's Boom in Supply, Tidal Marketplace, Six Figure Sneakerhead, Bot Mart, Heat Carts. As you'll see, this is one of my favorites. They've asked me not to show the inside. Mainly servers, all about bots and servers. Restock Flippers, mostly about restocks. Secure STC, another good group. Secured, one of the favorites that I've recommended. Now, let's go on and talk about these, whatever. So there is a difference between the group's hype and reality. The more basic the group is, the worse it is. They know you don't know, and they're pretty much just there for the money. The worst groups are, as far as I'm concerned, Six Figure Sneakerhead, Boom in Supply. Yes, they are for beginners. No, they don't do very much for you. You can find the information for free on Twitter. I'm really impressed by those groups, and it takes a lot for me to say that. Okay, now they all let you know about drops, what's coming. They let you know about restocks. Some are better than others. There is a restock group which does pretty well. Most of these groups run slots for you. So by joining these groups, when something comes out, they give you several days to go to a Google Sheet, spread it, enter your information, credit cards, whatever, and they will run the slots for you. Okay, now the best groups to me are Heat Carts, which you sign up at heatcarts.io. I'm a member. I've left some groups, but I've been paying for about a dozen groups to find out which ones were the best for you. Heatcarts.io is by far my favorite. When you get there, you tell them that Harlan number 8899 referred you. They'll give you some kind of a discount. Or Secure Community, www.secure.community.com. Use Harlan50. They'll give you 50% off the first month. These are two groups that absolutely kill themselves to be of service to you. My favorite, if I had to pick one, it's going to be Heat Carts, because the guy who runs the group would give the shirt off his back to help you succeed. And that means, they don't like any kind of criticism in public. But if you have something to say, they'll explain it. They'll teach you how to use it. And I can tell you that in these two groups, even though they've got some pretty advanced players there, no question is too basic. So if you're ready to move up, I recommend Heat Carts and Secure Community. My personal favorite being Heat Carts, Secure Community a close second. I'm sorry I signed up for it. 6-figure sneakerhead and foolishly paid for a year in advance. That is wasted money that I'll never see back. And Boom and Supply I'm in it for a month. Underestimate, I may give it another month, but I will probably cancel. Very much overrated. The founder, they claim, is Ben Kicks, who on the page they talk about one-on-one tutoring and whatever, and they imply that Ben is going to do it. I have yet to see Ben in the group. He's busy making money. He just probably gets a sizable piece of the action for this being known as his group. But the idea that he will be teaching you how to do it is just beyond a joke from what I've seen. Okay, now, if you are super, super, super advanced, you'll be ready for bots. So to know which bots are coming up, there's a group, there's the invitation called Restock Flippers, and they tell you what the best bots are. But I can tell you that the number one bot is Cybersol.io. This does just about everything that you would want a bot to do. But you've got to know what you're doing. You've got to know about proxies and servers in order to really be good with these bots. You need to have multiple credit cards, multiple addresses, multiple email addresses for these bots to really work. I didn't go into bots a whole lot because, first of all, Cybersol is sold out. The only way to get in is to follow a group like Restock Flippers or follow them on Twitter, and they let you know when they are opening up. They have not opened up in about a month. There are many, many other bots there, but I would spend some time in the Discord groups reading the reviews of the different bots before investing in them. That's it on bots, but start moving into a Discord group if you're really serious about it. Supreme Bot. Now, by the way, these groups, the Discord groups, also run Supreme, but the Supreme Bot is so simple and it's a one-time purchase. It might just be worth getting on your own. Force Cop. Okay, everybody, I hope you learned something from this.